Imagine that you've dedicated countless hours to studying for your exams. You've put in so much hard work and dedication and sacrificed so much time just to get the results you want. But when the exam day actually comes, you choke. Your mind goes blank and you struggle to recall even the simplest things that you thought you revised for, that you thought you knew. And you sit there and you wonder if everything you've done was all for nothing. You see, everyone's talking about these study tips and these revision hacks to get you ready. But what about on the actual exam day? And how do you actually make sure that you can be at your best performance? Well, these are exactly the things that I'm going to speak about in this video. And obviously coming from someone who got those 9s and 8s at GCSEs, and I got my 3 A stars in physics, chemistry and maths at A level. So believe me when I say I know what I'm talking about. So let me not waste any more of your time and let me give you some actionable steps that you can take. So the first thing is visualization. Now this is something that you can do right now, and visualization is something used by top athletes around the world to always ensure they're on their best performance. So I'm going to show you how you can do the same. Visualization is going to give your brain a simulation of what it's going to be like on that day, which is obviously going to make you a lot more confident and really help with your performance. So the steps to visualization are these. The first thing is you need to set your goal. What part of the exam do you actually want to improve? Your writing speed? Is it your nervousness? Is it your time management? Is it something else? Your stress, your anxiety? You need to identify that thing. The second step is to create a detailed mental image. This means using as many senses as possible to replicate the real thing, that exam environment. Having that exam paper in front of you, the pen in your hand, maybe even a timer in front of you like they have in the exam hall, these sort of things to replicate that image. And the third and final step is to repeat your visualization. So once in a while, just visualize this image in your head and repeat that thinking that we just spoke about. What this does is it eliminates nervousness because you become more familiar with that environment. So when you actually go on your exam day, you're going to be much more comfortable than if you didn't do this process. And also I found that when I visualize it, I tend to remember sort of last minute mistakes or last minute things that I want to revise in the end. Maybe it's just me, but I also think this is great because it allows you to remember things that you might not have been able to do before. The next thing I want to talk about is your diet and your sleep. The biggest way that you can shoot yourself in the foot and basically guarantee you don't do well in your exam is by sleeping 2 or 3 hours or even pulling an all-nighter the night before. When you sleep, your brain recharges. Your brain remembers all the thoughts, everything that you learned the day before. You need to sleep at least minimum 8 hours before that exam on that night. You're not a robot, you're human, and you need your sleep, and it's especially important if you want to be at your best performance. The same sort of thing goes for your diet. I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not going to tell you how much of what to eat, but what I do know for certain is that if you eat tons of junk, if you eat tons of sugar before your exam on the morning, when you have your breakfast or your lunch or whenever your exam is, you're going to cloud your mind, your brain's going to become foggy, and you're not going to perform well. So make sure that you take this in mind as well. And the last thing I want to speak about is that last minute revision. During this time leading up to your exam, in those final moments, what you want to focus on is those common mistakes, those common misconceptions that you made in that subject leading up to that exam paper, and you want to go over those. You might want to use flashcards or you might want to go over your notes, but what's important is that you tackle those areas that you're not the best in. You want to give yourself that fresh reset on those things that you're not maybe the best at, so that you've checked the box, covered your weaknesses, and when you get in that exam, you're going to be bulletproof. That last minute look at your notes, look at your flashcards, look at your exam papers is very, very, very useful, and I couldn't recommend this enough to give your brain that best chance of performing well in the exam. If you have an exam coming up, I hope that you take these tips into mind, and I hope you perform the best you can and get those grades that you want. And if you want more free resources like these, then press the link below and join Hustle Hack Academy, which is my free community.